What is up, guys? It is the Sports Center Bradley Walker, and welcome, guys, to the Sunshine State Sports Jabber, part of NGSC Sports and also being broadcasted on Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. Guys, welcome in. It's Friday night. Hopefully, everyone out there is having a good start to their weekend. Guys, welcome into the Sunshine State Sports Jabber. This is the first time you guys are in here. This is an all Florida sports podcast that I run every Friday. It is being shown on the Sunshine State Sports Jabber Facebook group page as well. If you guys, again, is part of the NGSC Sports, guys, please remember the website is ngscsports.com for all your current sports content. The Sunshine State Sports Jabber is sponsored by Arena Eats. Log on to the website arenaeats.app for the ultimate fan experience at your favorite sports venues. Arena Eats mobile app, pre-order, express pickup, and eat seat delivery. How do you place your order? All right, guys, welcome in everyone out there. Hopefully, again, like I said, everyone is having a great start to their Friday evening. Let me go ahead, guys, and get started here. I'm going to go ahead and start with the NBA since there was only one team. And let me welcome in my man Lewis here. Good evening, sir. The Miami Heat guys have been eliminated from the playoffs. They were swept by the Milwaukee Bucks going into round 2. The Bucks are getting ready to play the Brooklyn Nets in round 2. So the team that beat the Miami Heat are now on their way to playing the Nets. I did read some articles today that it might be time for the Miami Heat to start from the scratch. Pat Riley has said that his team needs to rest after an exhausting year. So, again, he's got some decisions to make during the offseason. They got Jimmy Butler, Tyler Hero. They've got a good team, just for some off-the-wall reason couldn't repeat what they did a year ago. By getting to the NBA Finals. But the team that was in the NBA Finals with them last year also got knocked out last night by the Phoenix Suns. So neither one of the teams that made it in the Finals last year are both out of the playoffs already. But again, like I said, with Miami, it's going to be back to the drawing board for Pat Riley and company. And maybe that's what they need to do. I mean, they're in a lot better shape than the Orlando Magic are. So, I mean, if that's what it's going to take for the Heat to kind of get back next season, then so be it. Every once in a while, your franchise has to, rethink the way that they do and maybe bring in some new blood or, let the rookies develop a little bit more another year, and maybe next year it'll be a different story for Pat Riley and company and Eric Spoelstra and company down in Miami. So we'll have to wait and see. Guys, I'm not the biggest NBA fan, but I do cover the Heat and the Magic on here, so it's been an absolute pleasure until the basketball season restarts. I don't know if I'm going to have too much news unless I hear of big trades or something between the Heat and the Magic. Well, I'll let you guys know on this show, but for the most part, so basketball season, obviously the two teams I cover are both out. You're not going to hear too much NBA news from me until we get closer to the start of the season or until I hear any major trades for the Magic and the Heat. But again, Pat Riley said that it's time for his team to rest after an exhausting season. So that pretty much sums up what he wants to do moving forward. But shouldn't be. Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, you do. They kind of develop. So.
Yep. The next guys I'm going to do is I'm going to go to soccer. The Tampa Bay Rowdies are in the USFL. A lot of people are USL. Again, that's not Major League Soccer by any means of the imagination, but so far the Rowdies are off to a 5-0 start for the first time in franchise history. They have not lost a match yet. They just got done beating New York, I think, a couple days ago. But they are off to a 5-0 start. Let me see. Now, again, guys, this team was in the championship game, or was supposed to be in the championship game a year ago. Unfortunately, it got canceled due to COVID. Yeah, they were on the road. They beat the New York Red Bulls 2, was the team that the Rowdies recently beat to move to 5-0. So, again, that was in Montclair, New Jersey is where they played. The Rowdies extended their lead atop the USL Championship Atlantic Division to 6 points. So that is Captain Steve Guznaski got a red-yellow card. It was called for a dangerous play when his leg went up high near Red Bull's player's face. The ensuing free kick from 25 yards out was saved with relative ease by keeper Evan Lavario. So again, guys, they won 1-0, and the Rowdies are off to a 5-0 start. One of the players that is being loaned to them is Foster Langensorf. I'm not sure. I just read this article today. He is part of the Minnesota United of the MLS, but he is being loaned to Tampa Bay for the remainder of the season. Oregon native Langensorf joined the Loons after one with the season with the Reno before he played 18 games and scored 11 goals during the 2020 season. He has made his MNUSC debut in the final game of the 2020 season, November 8th against FC Dallas. Langensorf is a product of the Portland Timbers Academy and signed a homegrown contract with the Timbers in January of 2018. Majority of his professional career has been with Portland Timbers 2, where he made 57 game appearances, notching 22 goals and 15 assists. Again, guys, he has been loaned to Tampa Bay Rowdies for the remainder of the season. He is a forward, 25 years old, 5'10", 165 pounds. Those are his stats. But he's been loaned to the Rowdies for the rest of the season. That's kind of cool. I'm trying to get out guys to a Rowdies game this year. They're not too far from where I work in downtown St. Pete. So I would like to go to it in the near future. Real quick, too, guys. The Rowdies are fighting for LGBTQ rights. They are wearing their Pride uniforms as well. As we do know, we are in Pride Month. The Rowdies have made a priority to ensure their home battling stadium is an exclusive environment to anyone who wants to come and watch the game in downtown St. Petersburg. The Rowdies has become an ethos of the club in recent years, and it's only things true if anyone in the fan base, no matter their sexual orientation or gender identity, feels equally welcome and valued. Let me just rephrase that, guys. I don't think that should be a problem no matter what it is. If you're a fan of a sport, I don't care if you're whatever you are. If you want to go see a team, you should be comfortable with going to see a game. It's unfortunate that there are people out there that make people feel uncomfortable at games like that because they don't think they belong. That's wrong. Let me just throw that out there. That's just not right. You should be able to go do what you want to do, enjoy your life. That's your choice, and if it makes you happy, stick with it. That's my gun on it, guys. As far as when it comes to rights and stuff like that, if it makes you happy, do it. You should not let anyone tell you can't do something or be something or do something because they think it's wrong in their eyes. Well, it's not wrong in your eyes. If it makes you happy, stick with it. That's how I see that on that topic. But again, where the Rowdies play in downtown St. Pete, there is a section of Central Avenue. There's a section of the road that is painted rainbow colors. I drive over it every day, and they take very pride in the people that live in that area that follow under that. And like I said, I have no problem with them. You want to come on here and talk about that? You have all the rights to do what you want to do. You want to come on here and talk? We will do that as well. You guys are welcome here at any point, anytime, to talk to me on either this show or our Thursday show as well, one or the other. But you guys are more than welcome to come here and speak. It's about sports. Hop on here, and you can rep any team you want. You're always welcome here. Welcome to the Walker Report. and to the Sunshine State Sports Jabber. Let me guys jump to the next team. This is Major League Soccer. Inter Miami. Now they are owned by David Beckham, and I guess Lewis, from what I read in an article from the Daily Mail in the UK, this is an article from a UK writer, that he says that David Beckham is a owner-proving nightmare. Let me read what this says. He was fined $1.4 million for breaching MLS rules, and new boss Phil Neville has had a miserable start with just 2 wins from 8. Inter Miami is a glamour draw for stars like Gonzalo Agua, but David Beckham's start to life as an owner is proving to be a nightmare. Wow. Okay. David Beckham chose to hang up his boots in 2013 at the LA Galaxy. He was given a chance to buy an MLS franchise for $25 million or 17.6 million pounds. Talks really began over which location. And I guess he chose Miami as the team to buy. He has not done very well. So far, it has not been a very good start for Inter Miami and Mr. Beckham and their coach. Again, guys, right now they're just, it's not a good look right now for Miami. They lost to DC United at home recently. They do have COVID restrictions. The arena in Fort Lauderdale was closed to its 18,000 capacity for the first time ever. So they are having fans show up. It's just not looking too good right now, for Beckham and Inter Miami. Now, I did see something today that might draw more fans to Inter Miami. It looks like, are you ready for this? Lionel Messi is coming to Inter Miami to play, sign a 2-year deal. That's big. That's big. That's one of the biggest soccer stars in the world, next to Ronaldo. So those two, are the cream of the crop when it comes to, soccer super overseas.
So they were both kind of Miami, Ronaldo and Messi.
No,
they were both kind of Miami.
Just Messi. Let me read what I saw this article today. I think it's just Messi for now. I mean that. Okay. No, I'll be honest with you. If Messi and Ronaldo both came and played on the same team, I think that would make them a favorite right away. That's a lot of firepower. I know Messi's up there in age, but I'm just, so it says right here. Let's see. Let me read this real quick and catch up on this and see where exactly.
Doesn't get much better than that.
Oh, yeah. No way. No doubt. No doubt at all. Let's see here. It says the Barcelona man would join in 2 years as a player and ambassador before returning to Barcelona as an ambassador. So I guess in 2 years, so in the year 2023, he will be coming to Inter Miami to play before returning back to Barcelona. So that is definitely big news for anybody, with that, having a big superstar come. I know I want to say at one time that who was the Brazilian soccer star? Pele played for the Rowdies before they became the Tampa Rowdies way back in the day. Towards the end of Pele's career, he did play in Tampa. So again, this is kind of similar to that kind of thing. I know that's not Tampa, but it's Miami. But still, again, it's. So again, guys, not very good right now for the ownership, but then in a couple of years, they're going to have a huge superstar gearing up for them in the future. So that's pretty cool. I kind of caught that today. The other MLS team is this team behind me, and that's the Orlando City, as they called it. Now they, I believe. Again, they are more of a defensive team, which then leads to their goals. That's what I read today about them.
Yes.
They are also getting, I guess, Daryl is returning to Orlando City. He was loaned, and he is returning back to Orlando City. Let me see anything else about them. Guys, I'm still new to the soccer, so I'm still trying to catch up on all this news and stuff. Yeah, the Lions this season are on a 6-game. Oh, they have not lost yet this year. No, they have. They're 3-1-3 so far this season, and they have 12 points. They are the third spot in the Eastern Conference standings. Defense has been the highlight of the team's success, allowing a conference low 4 goals in its first 7 games of the year. Orlando City will not play another match until June 19th when they face Toronto. But even without a game scheduled the next few weeks, it marks a critical period for the rest of the club's season. Peto's return to play is something. Alexander Peto, who has suffered a knee injury in his debut, will be started on a sour note. 31-year-old joined Orlando City with a goal and revitalizing his career. He showed flashes of potential. Debut against Atlanta, weaving through the defense and narrowly missing a 2-goal chance. Okay, so he is returning to play. Team-wide recovery. Maybe this rest will help them do that. Mendez and Glass playing for country. Obviously, we have the COMEBOL World Cup qualifier going on right now. And again, Daryl Dyke has returned. That was something that I mentioned earlier, that he has returned. Returning to the striker to Orlando City on June 1st, however, with the international transfer window opening on June 9th, it's possible that a transfer offer would come through for the striker before he has a chance to return to Orlando. But again, everything, guys, is basically that. They are 3-1-3 so far. Orlando's off to a pretty good start when it comes to Major League Soccer. Better than Miami right now, since Miami's not doing too well, but Orlando is doing very, very well so far. The other soccer team, guys, would be the Orlando Pride. Now, that's ladies soccer, but again, that's still a team in the state of Florida. They are coming off of a 1-0 win over Kansas City here recently. Let me bring that up. Let's see here real quick. They are in first place so far this year. The Pride are in first place.
What's the NWSL, brother?
Yeah, this is the NWSL. This is the NWSL where the Pride play. They're 3-0-1 so far this season with 10 points. They beat Kansas City, who are 0-2-2 with 2 points, in front of a 4,044 fans at Explorer Stadium. So Alex Morgan obviously is the big star. She's there as well. So that's something like that. They are playing again. They are also making the biggest thing with them is they deal well with leadership and cultural change, and that's been to early success for the Pride, which is good. You want to team morale, guys, is very, very important. That's something that no matter what sport you play, other than maybe golf or tennis when you're by yourself, but most team sports, your team morale has to be good. And if everybody believes in what you're doing, you're going to win. You're going to win games. You're going to have some losses. You're going to struggle a little bit. But at the end of the day, if your team morale is great, you're going to win a lot more games than you'll lose because your team believes in what is going on. If they don't believe in what's going on, then that is what it is. But I mean, for the most part, that is that. So let me give you. They also looks like they beat Washington as well. So here were the 3 keys to them beating Washington recently. The Washington Spirit. The 3 keys were defensive consistency. Sounds like a defensive-minded teams in Orlando. Marta does Marta things and more variety on the attacks. Obviously, Alex Morgan. But again, it looks like, guys, that just like Orlando City, the team plays defense, and defense wins championships in most sports, especially in the game of soccer. So, yep. That's the magic word right there. So, guys, that is my soccer news for the week. But again, I'm going to keep bringing you guys up to date because we're in the middle of a lot of these seasons. I think the Pride just started their season. MLS has already started with Orlando City and with Inter Miami. The Rowdies are off to a great start in the USL. So there's going to be a lot of soccer news from here on out about all four of these teams that we cover here on the Sunshine State Sports Jabber. There is baseball going on as we speak, so let me bring up what's going on with the Marlins and the Rays. Right now, the Marlins trail the Pirates 4-2 in the top of the sixth, and the Rays trail the Rangers 4-0 in the top of the fifth. So that is not a good thing.
Feeling better yesterday, probably.
Yes, yeah.
If it made you feel better, you're united to my Yankees, so that should make you feel a bit better.
The Marlins guys, again, they're. I read an article today that says that they'd rather be lucky than good. Maybe they've had some, but guys, that's what baseball is. You know, sometimes breaks go your way. Sometimes breaks don't go your way. Sometimes the ball takes a weird hop into the person's glove. Other times it goes over the top of the glove. Just that type of thing. But again, guys, that's baseball. I mean, a lot of us don't know, that's baseball, plain and simple. Right now, guys, let me check and see where exactly the Marlins stand in the NL East. I know the Rays are first place in the AL East, so let me check where the Marlins fall. Where it comes to the Rays have a 2-game lead on the Red Sox, 4.5-game lead on the Yankees, 5 on Toronto, and 16 on the lonely Orioles. Miami's 8.5 back in the NL East behind the Mets, and they are 2 games behind the Phillies, and they are 2.5 games behind the Braves, who are in second place. Actually, right now in the division in the NL East, the only team that is above 500 is the Mets. All the other 4 teams are under 500. The Marlins are currently 24-31 coming into tonight's game, and the Rays are 36-22. And I believe they own the best record in all of baseball. Yes, they do. They're the best team in baseball right now, and that would be the Rays. Again, guys, like Lewis just said, the Rays just did come off of a split with the Yankees. They beat Garrett Cole in the final game of that 4-game series yesterday. But again, they've had their struggles too, guys. I watched the game the other night, and they struggle too. Again, guys, it's baseball. It's baseball. That's the way it is. Baseball works in weird ways. It honestly does. Now, the biggest thing, guys, with the Rays, again, and this continues to come up, is obviously the Montreal-St. Petersburg split season drama. It continues to come up with the mayor in St. Pete, with ownership, with Stu Sternberg. It continues to be brought up. Guys, to this podcaster and writer's opinion, the MLBPA is not going to approve that, so I don't know what they're thinking. I do know this, as we talked about last night on the Walker Report, this could be one of the 2 teams that could be moving to Las Vegas. The other team, obviously, is the Oakland A's, who also, just like the Rays, have the same problem with getting a stadium. They need a new stadium. Oakland is very much closer, guys, to getting a new stadium than the Rays do, because Oakland only, I think, is like $5 million away from having the stadium ready to go. Now, they've gone to the taxpayers, and the taxpayers are going, we're not giving $5 million for you guys to build a new stadium. So Oakland has been given permission to look elsewhere. I would think, guys, Oakland would be a lot closer to Vegas, where it would be easier for A's fans to travel to Las Vegas than it would be for Rays fans that would have to leave Tampa, fly halfway across the country or Montreal as well. Because, guys, guess what? Baseball didn't work in Montreal before. So what do you think is going to make it work now? It didn't work with the Expos.
Nothing.
Why would it work now with
Actually, it did rally for a while, but after the strike in '94, they just lost interest. But when they had a preseason game, I forget when it was, they did draw fans. So it's tough to say.
Well, I mean, I would say this too. They probably will get a new ballpark in Montreal. So again, the first couple years, you're going to have butts in seats because people are going to be interested. And if they keep winning, if you can put a winning product out there, you're going to have people coming to the stadium because that's the poor Marlins. They haven't had a winning product. They can't draw. But guys, the Rays, as we spoke about this last night too, they do win games, but they still can't draw fans. So that's the issue right now, guys. Rays cannot draw fans, which is a big conundrum. I don't understand the whole kit and caboodle with why people say it's because where the stadium is located. And guys, the stadium is outdated. Okay, I can tell you that right now from being in there. It one time housed the Tampa Bay Lightning before they moved over to Tampa. After they left the fairgrounds in Tampa, they moved to what was called the Thunderdome at one time. If you guys want to look it up on Google, you can look up Thunderdome and tell me what it looked like. Guys, if you go to the Rays Stadium now, I think the rows start at like AA because you know why? Because all the rows beneath that are gone because they had to make room to make a baseball field. So, again, guys, we're going to have to wait and see. The Rays are still they have a 5-year contract with the city to play baseball until 2027. So it's going to be interesting. I would have to say this, if there's not something done by, say, 2025, which we're only 4 years away from, I think the team will be gone. Wow. Somebody steps up and buys the team from Stu Sternberg. I don't think you're going to see them here, or it'll be a split, or they'll figure out some way to get it. I don't know. It for him, he's looking, guys, at Miami for an example. The Marlins built a brand new stadium for their team. They're not wise. Huh? They're not. I mean, they're not drawn. They're
talking contractually.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because now Miami got a brand new stadium a few years ago, and now they can't draw anybody. But again, guys, I don't think Miami is a baseball town. Miami's a football town. Between the Hurricanes and the Dolphins, baseball doesn't really work. Miami, I mean, think about the population. Now, I know amongst the Spanish, people that speak Spanish, baseball is a very popular game. Colombia, a lot of those countries, baseball other than soccer, is one of the top games that kids strive to play. But for some off the wall reason in Miami, they don't draw. They don't draw it at all. And down here, it's because of where the stadium is located and this and that. So I don't really know what it's going to take for the Rays to draw people. Real quick, guys, Tyler Zombro is in stable condition after being hit in the face last night during Durham. Now, if you don't know, the Durham Bulls are the AAA affiliate for the Tampa Bay Rays. He is in stable condition, which is good. We're kind of hoping and praying that he gets back as soon as possible. Very, very scary incident. Obviously, we don't want to see a player get hurt. And especially someone get hit in the face. That's very, very dangerous right now. So, again, real quick, guys, before I jump off the baseball talk here, let me go back real quick and check the scoreboard. The Marlins, again, are trailing 4-2, guys, in the top of the 6th inning. They do have a runner on second, and there's only one out. And the Tampa Bay Rays are down 4-0 as we head into the top of the 6th inning. The top of the 6th inning for the Rays and the Rangers. So the Rangers have given the Rays some fits this year. They, I believe, swept the Rays here at Tropicana Field, and they're off to a good start there in Arlington. Again, guys, if you do remember, the World Series was in Texas last year. And the Rays and the Dodgers played at in Arlington. where the Rangers play again, but there wasn't. Now it's a full house. Chris is in the studio. He could tell us he's a Ranger fan. Let me bring him on real quick because I know he's a Rangers fan. So let's bring Chris in here because I know he's a Rangers fan. Tell us about the ballpark in Texas.
Hey. Both teams were in Texas and for the World Series, and I think there were some fans there.
I think they said Chris today on there was only like 10,000. But how many? That stadium seat houses what? Close to 100,000 there.
I would say, I would think so. Yeah.
Okay. Because I know, and again, like I was just saying, your Rangers give the Rays a hard time. I mean, they
do
play well.
Yeah, they do.
Right they're up right now as we speak. Through 6, they're up right now. So
that's good. I mean, rough start last night.
Yeah, I mean, and again now, I mean, right now, guys, the Rangers are playing the best team in baseball. So, yeah. All right, guys, let me go ahead and we'll jump to hockey.
Well,
we'll start with the Florida Panthers, who were eliminated by the
right now we still got
in-state rival, the Lightning, in the first round. If you guys do not know, too, the Lightning dumped their jersey policy of not allowing opposing fans to wear jerseys in the first level. Guys know why that happened, because there was an 11-year-old kid in a Panther jersey that they kicked out of the arena. Guess what? They've lifted that now because it went internet wide, and that's not a very good sign. When you have an 11-year-old kid getting kicked out because wearing a Panther jersey.
Yeah, I saw that video.
Yeah, that's not a good look for the Lightning. We all franchises gonna make that mistake, but I mean, yeah, they obviously corrected it. I feel bad. I mean, nobody that young. I don't care how old you are. You should never be kicked out of an arena for wearing a jersey. Now, if you're obnoxious and you're bothering people, yeah, but not to be kicked out for wearing an opposing jersey. You
get kicked out for wearing that? No, it's not wrong.
Well, I mean, that would be just like going to MSG or going to Dallas, to a Stars game and getting kicked out because you're wearing an opposing team's jersey.
New York is different. New York is different, though.
I mean, so
that or Philadelphia or
any of those big time cities like that, yeah, could be
Cleveland,
kicked out. Right? Yeah. So again, guys, the Panthers need to clear some cap space. That's definitely needed for next year. Now, this team is pretty good. This is a very, very good hockey team that will probably be a threat next year and in the years to come.
Yes.
Quinville has got them playing very well, and which is good because I want to have a rivalry with the Panthers. I'm a Lightning fan. I want to see Florida be that type of player. So I'm very, very, very happy that the Panthers played the Lightning in the playoffs for the first time that those two teams ever played each other in the postseason. So that was nice to see that. Let me see, guys. Where does the Florida Panthers draft? Because the NHL draft was announced. The number 1 pick went to the Buffalo Sabres. The number 2 pick is the Kraken, and the number 3 pick is the Ducks. It has not been decided yet to where the Panthers will pick, because it looks like 16 through 31 will be determined after the playoffs are over. But so far, that's the top 3 picks, guys. Are the Sabres, the Kraken, who are the new franchise. They'll have a expansion draft where the Kraken will get to pick 1 player or 2 players from each team. 1 player from each team. Excuse me, 1 player from each team, and then moving on, they'll again be able to draft as well. All right. So the Panthers will be back, guys, next year for all the Panther fans and Lightning fans out there. The Lightning guys lost last night. to the Carolina Hurricanes in overtime. They lost 3-2 in overtime. So the series again is currently 2-1 in that series. They did eliminate the Panthers in the first round. I would say the game 4 is tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock. I could definitely see the Lightning coming back and kicking ass. Let me just say that if I can say that. I think that they kind of let Carolina go up 2-0 last night, and then were able to come back and tie the game, only to lose it in overtime. So I think really the honest thing is they're gonna bounce back. They have that bounce back game. Here's Adam. Bounce back game. I would have to say that I could see the coming out and having a better game tomorrow afternoon than they did last night against Carolina. That's just my opinion on that.
I didn't think they played all that bad last night.
No, they really didn't.
Well, I mean, the game was tied. It was tied 2-2 after 2 periods, and then they had no goals in the third period. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see if they can figure out Peter Mrazek. That's been the change for Carolina. Let's see. The next guys, I'll go ahead and jump to the National Football League. We'll start with the boys in Duval County, and that is the Jacksonville Jaguars. And again, so far, the big news out of there obviously is, of course, Tim Tebow, obviously being signed. So far, Trevor Lawrence has done well in rookie camp. Coach Urban Meyer is testing DJ Shark, the top wide receiver there in Jacksonville. Going to be one of Trevor's weapons this year. The owner, Shaq Khan, has proposed 4 seasons football performance center. I think I read something today that he wants to spend $44 million to build them a new indoor, have their, so I don't know what you think on that.
Yeah, like a practice facility.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Because I think that this team has been rumored to be the team that moves to England. If there's ever going to be a team to move to England, it would be this one, because the Jaguars seem to play a lot of games in England every year. I think they're playing more over this year.
Yeah.
Yes, they are. That'd be a long way to go just to play in the NFL. That's a long way. It's a long way to go.
It is a long way. Yeah, exactly.
How would you do it?
Well, and then you got the time change.
Exactly. Yep.
Night games will be morning there, or vice versa. So.
Right.
It'll just be hard.
Right. Because London is 5 hours from where we are.
Yep.
Wait, Chris, where are you?
Central. I'm in Texas.
In Texas.
Okay, then in your case, it's 6 hours.
Okay. Yeah, that's a long time.
You 6 hours.
Yeah.
Remember, we're an hour ahead.
Right.
Yep. Yeah, we're an hour ahead. Yep. It's 9:38 here. It's only 8.
Feel too weird. I mean, this is why probably the world has failed.
The next team, guys, I cover is the Miami Dolphins. Obviously, this will be Tua's second year under a quarterback. I know they were talking about him on ESPN this evening when I was out catching the Bites. They were talking about him on ESPN, and this is his second year. There is kind of an interesting thing that Bill Belichick is in pursuit of Don Shula's NFL wins record, and he hopes that he gets it. I thought he said he hoped that he didn't get it.
I thought he said he didn't want him to get it.
I thought too. He didn't want it. He didn't want that record to be broken.
Yeah. He's like, I'm Don Shula for life. I'm Miami Dolphins for life. I think that's what somebody said.
Let's see here. Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. I hope he does not get it. Miami Dolphins.
Marino.
Dan Marino has spent 20 years watching players break numerous records, but there's one Miami Dolphins Denmark duo heartedly wants to preserve. Don Shula has 328 wins, 347 including the playoffs. Shula has coached Marino for the 13 years as quarterback, 17-year career, and surpassed George Halas as the winning coach. In 1993, Shula still holds the record upon his death on May 4th, 2020, at the age of 90. New England Patriots coach Bill Belichick is working in the wings with 280 wins, just 48 shy of matching Shula's NFL's winning record. So 48 wins. Okay. Again, if now with a 17-game season, you could catch him a lot faster than that would be. I hope he does not get it. Marino said emphatically, I'm a Dolphin for life, Coach Shula for life. I don't want him to get it. I don't know. I don't know what to think about that. I mean, obviously, we all know records are meant to be broken. Obviously, but maybe Belichick will get it. Maybe he won't.
As long as he has Cam Newton, I don't think he will.
Speaking of that, Cam Newton hurt his hand, so there you go. Hurt his hand today. He's got I think he's got a bruise.
Yeah.
So it's a minor injury. I think he'll be still ready to go come over today.
They shut him down until training camp.
Right. So there you go. See, it's nothing major.
No. But they're not taking any chances with it.
Well, I mean, obviously we're going to see Mac Jones in the preseason. I don't think we're going to see a lot of Cam Newton anyway. I think Mac Jones is going to be the guy anyway when the preseason started, in my opinion.
Yeah, you only got three games now, so.
Right. Yep. 3 preseason games, correct.
Tune them up.
Yeah. The Buccaneers. Go ahead.
So do you think that means that they move up week 3 then? Do your starters play most of game 3 instead of game 2 instead of game 3?
Probably.
Yeah.
Or do you flip it and have everyone play have the rookies and your borderline guys play most of weeks 1 and 2, and then have all your starters go for week 3 so you can be ready for the season?
I don't know. Good way to look at it. It might be one way or the other.
Yeah, you might, and it'll be interesting to see how teams play it, because there's that risk of injury, right. And then you only have a week off till the season starts.
Correct.
Somebody's got some real bad feedback.
And if you are the Buccaneers, who obviously are the defending
there we go.
Defending champs. Last year, they say that Tom Brady's knee injury was more of a nagging nuisance. He did have his knee cleaned up as a cleanup. Nothing major, but he did have his knee.
What is that? Arthroscopic knee surgery?
Yeah, his knee cleaned up. I think you've seen him walking around in a knee brace. Nothing major. It's just he had to get that knee cleaned up. Obviously, if you guys remember, he did get hurt in, I forget what year, was it 2008 when he tore it up, and the Patriots finished that season 11-5 without
Matt
him.
Castle.
Yeah, and still missed the playoffs. They missed the playoffs that year at 11-5.
Yep.
But again, guys, his backup, the guy that they drafted, I don't think he's going to be a backup. I think he'll probably be the third-string quarterback. Kyle Trask is turning heads at OTA, so he's been doing very, very well. Bruce has said a lot about him. So
he's one that can play himself into the backup role right away.
Right.
If he has a really nice preseason, who's the third guy on the depth chart, or who's the other guy on the depth chart?
I forget who. Hang on a second. Let me look that up real quick.
Yeah. Because
let's see here. Let's see here real quick. I want to know who I know the Bucks have Ryan Griffin III, and I think he would be. I think him and Trask will battle it out for the third spot. But let me see.
Oh, it was just an errant puck.
Let me see who the quarterbacks are listed. I want to say Blaine Gabbert. That's who it is. Blaine Gabbert's the backup.
Okay.
Right now. Yeah, Blaine Gabbert's the backup.
Of those two, I would go with Trask as my backup.
Well, I mean,
Yes.
I don't think there's really anybody better to learn under than Tom Brady. So let Kyle develop a little bit. But again, I think we'll see a lot of him anyway. I think we're going to see a lot of Kyle Trask in the preseason anyway, despite that.
Yeah.
Because I don't, the starters don't, they don't play a lot of preseason anyway because they already have their jobs filled. Where you have the rookies like Kyle Trask and company, it's that's their time.
Let's see what you got.
Correct. Their time to prove what they're gonna provide to the team all season.
Mm-hmm.
The Dolphins, I forgot to mention that Jalen Waddle was dropped 2 punts at camp. I don't know why that's important, but I guess they're trying to fit him in as a special teams player as well.
Punt returner, because he did that in college. He did that at Bama. That's when he tore up his knee.
Okay, so maybe that's why they're kind of concerned about that. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm not worried about it.
I wouldn't do it though. I mean,
I wouldn't be too worried about a couple of muff punts in training camp.
I wouldn't either. I think it can be all cleaned up by the time the season rolls around. Yeah.
I wouldn't be too worried about a rookie having the jitters in training camp.
Nope, me either.
They all do.
Yeah, me either.
I would definitely highlight it and make it a point of emphasis, but I'm not going to lose any sleep over it.
Sorry, I just lost some sleep.
This is college football, so now the Miami Hurricanes. Athlon predicts Miami to finish second in the Coastal Division, so obviously the team on top would be Clemson. So they have them behind the Tigers. Again, the Hurricanes have always had an aggressive defense, and that's Manny Diaz's cup of tea. That's their head coach. If you don't know who Manny Diaz, guys, that is the head coach at the University of Miami.
Is this his second or third year there?
I think this is his third year in Miami.
Third year.
This is a team that really I think is on the verge of being good. Again, just like with everything else, when it comes to recruiting, obviously that's the one thing that stirs the drink in college football is if you can recruit.
Yeah.
And he's done very, very well with recruiting the kids in South Florida to keep them at home, as you say, not to have them go to Gainesville, Florida State, to Tallahassee, or vice versa, have them leave the state, go to Alabama or LSU or Georgia. He's done a very, very good job of keeping the kids in South Florida moving forward. I agree with that. I mean, actually, Miami, I think, is like a 21 or 17.5 point underdog to Alabama in the first game. So they've already put the line out. They're already a 17-point underdog. It would be nice if they could beat Alabama, but I don't think it's going to happen.
They don't need to beat Alabama. They just need to keep it close.
Keep it close and show up. Yeah.
Yeah.
You show up and don't get blown out.
Yeah, you don't lose bad.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
And the loss is a loss, though, fellas. I mean, really.
Well, I mean, if they lose by, say, 10 points, I think that's a win. I would believe anything under 14, that's a win for Miami. If you get with Alabama, yeah.
As long as you can keep up with them, as long as you don't get blown out early.
Yeah.
As long as it's not.
Well, wait, do they have any of the so-called cream puff games this year?
Oh, there's cream puff games.
They got App State and then Michigan State.
They've got some that. They've got.
Hold on. Now hold it. App State is not to be taken lightly anymore. Think about that.
Or Michigan State probably.
Michigan State coming back too. They'll be back too soon. Yeah.
Then they got Central Connecticut State, Virginia.
They play the Seminoles. I know that they got the Noles on the schedule because that's always
NC State, North Carolina. Pittsburgh Tech, Georgia
Yeah.
Tech, Florida State, Miami, or Florida State, Virginia Tech, and Duke to close it out.
They should have no problem with Duke. North Carolina, I'll give them.
Yeah.
North Carolina fits. That the Tar Heels are a pretty good football team. Mac Jones is playing very, very well. Yeah, they're a very, very good football team.
I wouldn't have to say anymore. I mean, because they've come on strong in the last few years, so that's not to be taken lightly. Speaking of the Seminoles,
the Noles are up. Yeah, the Noles are next. Here's the interesting part. They were talking about Coach Norvell. Mike Norvell used to be with Memphis in the AAC. He took the job. This will be his. This is year 2 for Coach Norvell. Now they were making a thing today saying that is this actually year 1 for him because of the pandemic year, and the Noles struggled last year. But he has done very, very well with recruiting. That has helps Florida State out. Again, if you can recruit people to come to Tallahassee, that does help the cause, as everything else, no matter where you coach. So he has done very, very well with the recruiting part. But he's got his hands full. I think this is a team that could be close as well. I don't think they're as close as Miami is, but I think the team is not far away either. I know all my Seminole fans out there are going to hate me when I say that because there's a lot of them. A lot of them hate Miami. A lot of them hate Florida. Both of the 2 schools in Florida they hate. I've actually asked those fans, off the chart, who do you hate more, the Gators or the Hurricanes? And I've got mixed votes. Some of them answer Miami. Most of them answer Florida. But I've gotten a lot of Miami fans out, people that hate Miami too. So,
it depends on which week it is.
Right. Correct. Now, when like I said, when the Noles play the Hurricanes, they hate the Hurricanes, and then when the Noles play the Gators on Thanksgiving, it's Florida. So there you go.
Yep.
So yeah,
that's right.
They're getting some stadium renovations as well in Tallahassee. Probably Bowden Field, obviously, is getting some upgrades there in Tallahassee. It's Doak Campbell Stadium, actually. I don't know I know at one time they were talking about taking the name away because of Doak Campbell was supposedly, guys, again, articles I read, was a racist person, so they're trying to get rid of the name, but so far the university has not gotten rid of it. So just saying that's again, we'll have to wait and see. I'm not making any of this show political or anything, so you believe what you believe on radio or on TV or whatever you read, that's up to you. That's your call. That's your call. So I don't know. The Gators just extended Coach Dan Mullen for a 3-year extension. He gets a $15 million raise to be the head coach at the University of Florida. Oh, and by the way, Mike White, the basketball coach, also got a 2-year extension. So both coaches in basketball and football both got an extension. The question that was asked to me the other day, which team will be more successful? I hate to pick on Coach White, but there's no way that you can tell me that Dan Mullen's not going to be successful at the University of Florida. The team, I think, is probably maybe this year or next year away from being hopefully in the college football playoff. They got to beat Alabama. Plain and simple, guys. The SEC, you got to beat Alabama.
Forget it.
That's the team that everybody has to beat. You got to knock them off the mountain.
Not going to happen much. Maybe not. I'll get over there.
Also, there is something to the SEC passed the rule to allow immediate eligibility for interconference transfer starting this season in 2020.
Okay.
So that has been passed by the SEC. So that's kind of cool.
That's another step.
Sit out. Now you can play immediately whoever you transfer to the SEC. I'm assuming the other Power 4 conferences that are left, the Big 10, the ACC, the Big 12, and then, of course, the Pac-12 will all follow.
Yeah.
Will follow that way. I would believe so. I can't see why one conference would not have it and another conference wouldn't.
I think Big 12 did that.
The Big 12 did it, or Chris? Okay, because you live.
I think
You're
I think so.
okay. I mean, so you're saying that where you have Texas and Oklahoma, that's the Big 12. Kansas, those teams. Okay.
Kansas State.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Texas Tech in the Big 12 now. Yep. Okay. All right.
Don't mention Texas.
Who lives in Texas? Nothing wrong with Texas. Nothing wrong with the state of Texas.
No. Especially when it comes to football.
Oh, high school football, major league. They're a big high school powerhouse down there.
Yeah.
I spent nothing.
Powerhouse in Texas. The religion in Texas.
Yeah.
High school football. So guys, this is the UCF Knights. Again, this is the team that Gus Malzahn has taken over and is trying to get everyone in the nation to pay attention to them. This team has been good for a long time. They're not going away. I can't see them not going away anytime soon. They have also been very, very well. They haven't won a national championship. They haven't even been in a playoff. But they have, they did call themselves national champions a few years ago. They went out and did that.
Yeah.
But again, it's mostly today, guys. I was reading about recruiting. They've done very, very well. They're probably going to be the AAC champion this year. I can't see another team within the conference beating them. In my opinion, I don't think. Maybe Memphis or Cincinnati. I think Cincinnati might be the only team that might be a threat. Other than that, I don't see anyone else in the AAC beating them. Not this year. Not this year.
No.
In the future, possibly, but not right now. Not right now. I can't see them. And let me go ahead, guys, and close the show out with the USF Bulls. If you guys did not know, it has been announced that their home opener against the Florida Gators on Saturday, September 11th, 2021, will be a noon kickoff, which means if I get credentials, I'll have to be at the stadium at like 10 o'clock in the morning. But that's okay. I don't mind it. I think it's a lot of fun. Guys, USF tickets are on sale. If you're in my area, they are on sale. They're not very expensive for season tickets either for that. Real quick too, guys, USF did beat UCF to win the AAC title in baseball. That's right. They moved on. They beat them in baseball. And guys, they beat the Florida Gators today in baseball. USF beat Florida today in baseball. So there you go with that. Let me go ahead and the UnderdogDynasty.com did a ranking of all the AAC football stadiums. So let me give you guys the rankings for those. Number 10 or tied for 10th is Lincoln Financial Field, where the Temple Owls play. And then Raymond James Stadium is tied with that. The Skelly Field at H.A. Chapman Stadium, where the Tulsa Golden Hurricanes are at number 9. Gerald J. Ford Stadium, SMU, that's the Mustangs, at 8. Liberty Bowl, where the Tigers play, Memphis, is at 6. TD ECU Stadium, that's where the ECU Pirates play. I'm sorry, that's Houston. I'm sorry, that's the Houston Cougars. I apologize. Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium, that's where the Navy midshipmen play. The Bounce House, that's UCF. That's what they call their stadium. Yeoman Stadium, where the Greenway play, that's Tulane. And Nippert Stadium is where Cincinnati plays. And then, of course, Dowdy Quickland Stadium, where ECU plays, is what they consider the best stadium in the AAC overall. Let me click here real quick, guys, and give you college football news's preview for USF this year, because I'm curious on how they have USF playing this year. I saw one earlier this year say that the Bulls are only going to win one football game. So let's see where they have them finishing. Their 2020 record was 1-8 overall. They were 0-7 in the conference. They did not win a conference football game last year. Here's the preview. The offense went through a phase. To be nice about it, yes, they did struggle offensively last year. The Bulls might now have their quarterback. Cade 410 has been the guy that's been standing out, and Miami starter Jaron Williams. I saw both of these guys at the spring game, and both of them very likely could be the starter this year for USF. The offense, to me, guys, last year the defense was I think needed to be, they need to step up this year. I think that was kind of the big thing with them. Their defense needs to be better this year. I think it will be. Let me go ahead and roll through here real quick. This is College Football News, is the website that I'm reading. Bulls USF offensive player will be Cade 14 Jr. That's the quarterback. Bryce Miller is their wide receiver. Kelly Jr. is their running back. Jaron Williams he's a transfer, and Omar Dawson. All those guys are great defensively. Antonio Greer, the linebacker, he's the guy that serves the drink defensively. They've got Dwayne Boyce, Andrew Mims, Daquan Evans, and Kelvin Binkley. I saw all of these guys in the spring game. They all did very, very well. I thought the spring game was very entertaining, even though it was kind of a blood in the beginning. Biggest key this year, obviously, is offense. They got to keep things moving. The defense has got to step up. Obviously, that. Key games this year, they have the SMU game on October 2nd on the road. The first quarter opponents have scored 92 points to USF's 37. Obviously, that's something that they're going to have to fix. Third down conversions. USF was 38 of 124 last year, 31%, where they allowed 71 of 141 at 50% for their opponent. That's got to change. USF had 13 fumbles last year. They lost 11. Opponents had 10 and only lost 3. So that's got to change again. Yep. So there's got to be changes to be made for USF to have a winning season this year. The Bulls have lost 22 of their last 28 games since the big start in 2018, going from 11 wins to 10 to 7 to 4. Just one in a 5-year drop. It looks like they have the regular season win total at 3.5. So
there are a lot of winnable games on their schedule.
USF will beat Florida A&M and then has to find a way to get by Tulsa and/or Houston and/or Temple at home to start turning this around. At NC State, Florida, at BYU, at SMU, these all in the first 5 games, and they have Houston, Cincinnati, Pennsylvania, and of course at the Bounce House in November on Black Friday. But again, guys, it's early on. We don't know how they're going to play. And just like with Miami playing against Alabama, if USF can show up and give Florida a game,
keep it respectable.
Yeah, just to gain some respect. Obviously, I think a lot of people have them being blown out. They have them being blown out of the water. Right.
Down by 48 halfway through the second.
So hopefully I'll be there, sitting there watching it. I hope they don't get blown out too bad. Not too bad.
Looking at the schedule here, NC State, they could sneak up on NC State and give them a game.
Right.
They're not going to sneak up on Florida.
No.
They should beat A&M. They shouldn't beat BYU. They should lose to BYU, especially since that's a road game. Yeah. But SMU, Tulsa, Temple, East Carolina, Houston, Cincinnati, Tulane, and UCF are all winnable games. No, I'm not saying that they're gonna win them, but they were in all. But they were in all of those games last year. If you go back and you look at their record last year, which apparently I can't.
1-7, I think last year. 1-7, I think.
Yeah, but that's not the point. The record, I know. Okay, so they beat Citadel, then they got thumped by Notre Dame. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
They got dumped by Cincinnati and East Carolina.
Yeah.
Then they lost by 2 to Temple, lost by 1 to Memphis, And they lost by 8 there to South Florida.
Yep, they almost beat South Florida. Or they almost beat UCF last year. Yep. Because I'll tell you what, that game, the UCF game, that was my first game to see them play each other live. And I left in the third quarter because the USF was trailing. I'm like, okay, they're not going to win. I get in the damn car. I'm driving home, and they score 14 points like that. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. Now I left. They're going to win the damn thing. They're going to win the damn game. So I won't be doing that this year. I'm going to stick it out and watch the games all the way.
Always.
Because you never know what might happen.
Nope.
I think when you were going through the schedule, I think the only 2 games are at the end of the season, but they're not going to win is Cincinnati and UCF. The other teams, Tulsa, ECU, SMU, I think they have a shot at beating those teams. I really do.
And I would like to see a breakdown. Like the Tulsa game, they got thumped and they got blown out by Houston. But when did those games get out of hand? Were they out of control from the beginning, did they?
The Houston game, yes, it was out of control right in the beginning. They were on the road. They were down like 21-0 within the first, I would say, like 3 possessions. They were down quick.
And that's what you've got to clean up. That's the biggest thing to clean up.
And in the Notre Dame game, they just got outplayed. They were just outplayed.
Yeah.
Seriously. They didn't stand a chance against the Irish. They just got outplayed. They were there. They had beat Notre Dame in the past, by the way. They have beat the Irish in the past, but they weren't beating Ian Book and company this past year. They weren't doing that. But yeah. I could see USF winning maybe 4 or 5 games this year, maybe more. They're not going to win just 1 game.
No.
I know. Florida A&M is the team that they have pegged for them to win. But again, Memphis won the conference last year, and they only lost by 1 point. They only lost by 8 points to UCF, and they only lost by a couple. They lost by 2 to Temple because they fumbled the ball at the goal line late in the game. So that doesn't happen. USF would have beat the Owls. So again, you're right. You got to clean up some stuff, and if Jeff Scott and company can do that, I think they win 4 or 5 games this year. It would be great to see them win 6 and make a bowl game. Sure, absolutely. Do they have a shot at doing that? Yeah, of course they do.
Absolutely,
of course they do. But again, we'll have to wait and see it. I'm really excited. I hope that I get to go back and get a chance to cover them. I can't see why I wouldn't get a chance to cover them. I'm going to bank that you're going to have to be vaccinated, which I am. I don't have to worry about that. So I'm looking forward to it. I'll find out in the next month or 2. I think by August, is when we start to put in paperwork to get credentials. So I have to, go to the website. They have to apply for me, and I will wait until the season starts, which I believe they're on the road.
Yeah, they start at NC
State on the road. And then, of course, they play at home against the Gators on the 11th. So until then, but guys, that is going to pretty much wrap my show. The Sunshine State Sports Jabber, guys, is sponsored by Arena Eats. I forgot to read this a third time during this show. Log on to the website arenaeats.app for the ultimate fan experience at your favorite sports venues. Arena Eats mobile app, pre-order, express pickup, and in-seat delivery, however you place your order. Guys, if you don't know who Arena Eats is, they are a small company based out of Minnesota. And what they're trying to do, guys, is they're trying to get you to not have to leave your seat and miss the action. They're trying to be able to make it easier for you to get food and drinks and stuff. They're trying to make it a lot easier so you're not waiting in line. I had the guy that owns the company and a bunch of his workers on my show earlier, either this year or last year, and it was very, very nice to talk to them. They're very, very good people. So again, if I can have them on, should contact Ralph and find out if I can have them on again to let me know what's going on, if it's gotten a little bit better since now COVID has kind of calmed down a little bit, to see if arenas are opening up again and allowing more people in, if it's starting to their business is starting to pick up. So hopefully that is the case for Arena Eats. Guys, the Sunshine State Sports Jabber is part of NGSC Sports. Guys, remember the website is ngscsports.com for all your current sports content. Again, guys, as I always do, I want to thank the doctors, nurses, and first responders. Thank you guys for being the heroes that you've been since last year. To the men and women of our armed services, both active, retired, and the ones who have left us, what a great sacrifice. Memorial Day was just earlier this week, guys, so thank you very much for all the sacrifices that you guys do. I wouldn't be able to be sitting here talking with these three great gentlemen either. Would not be sitting here being able to talk without you guys doing what you do. Also, to the police officers, firefighters, and paramedics, thank you guys as well for keeping us safe domestically. Guys, I'm going to clock out of here. Lewis and Adam both have shows tomorrow. Please go over there and be on their show. They're both.
Chris has another number.
Go ahead.
Chris, can you take a number down? Can you take a number down, Chris? Or can he hear me? No, he can't hear me.
He can hear you. We can't hear him because his mic's muted.
Mike's muted.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right, Chris,
I heard.
Take this number
I'm
down.
ready.
512-543-4662. You're an hour behind me, so for you it's going to be between 4 and 6 your time, 5 to 7 mine.
Okay.
All right. Good night, gentlemen.
All right.
Good night, Sweet Lou.
All right.
And guys, like I said, go over there, join Lewis's show. Again, it's on 5 to 7 Eastern Standard Time. Chris is in Texas, so it's 4 to 6. And on the West Coast, it would be 2 to 5 on the West Coast, if you're worrying about that, or 2 to 5 there. Or 2 to 4. Yeah, 2 to 4. I don't know, something like that. But again, guys, thanks, Chris. Thank you, guys. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
From Texas. But again, guys, I'm out of here. I'm going to check out of here. I'll be back next week on the Walker Report and this show. I'm going to probably hop on. If Adam has a show tomorrow morning, I'm going to hop on.
That's the plan.
Tomorrow morning.
10 to noon.
Yep, I'll be on.
The unscripted.
I actually set it up to where I could be on the show tomorrow. I did all my grocery shopping tonight, so I could be on the show tomorrow morning.
Alrighty then. I'm gonna hop out, so I will talk to you in the morning.
See you guys later. I'm gonna hop off as well. Until next week, guys. This has been the Sports Leader Bradley Walker. The show has been on NGSC Sports, and thanks to Coast as well for having me on as well. But until next week, guys. Peace.